Adventurous kids, explore with education and learning what a wild life is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West. Adventurous kids, learning and fun. Adventurous kids!
Today I'm going to tell you about fractions. A fraction is a number that shows how many equal parts there are. When we write fractions, we show one number with a line above or slash next to another number. For example, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4 are different ways of writing the same fraction. In this case, a quarter. The top number tells us how many parts there are, and the bottom number tells us the total number of parts. The top part of the fraction is called a numerator. The bottom part of a fraction is called a denominator. For example, for the fraction, 1 is the numerator and the 4 is the denominator. A room where 1/4 of the people are girls is 1 girl for every 4 people. A cake can be thought of as being made up of 4 equal parts, where each is 1 part of 4. This can be written as 1/4 and is called a quarter. Similarly, 2 parts of the cake, 2 quarters, can be written as 2/4, which is also equal to 1/2 1/2. A fraction is a mathematical expression relating two quantities or numbers where one divides the other. When the two quantities are whole numbers or integers, this is called a rational number, such as the fraction 1/2. When the two quantities are polynomials, this is called a rational fraction. Mathematically, a fraction is a quotient of numbers representing the number's value, and the numerator, upper number, is divided by the denominator, lower number. Thus, 1/2 means 1 divided by 2, 1 decimal 0.5. To find 1/2 of 1/2, the denominators are multiplied, and because denominator 2 multiplied by 2 equals 4, we have that 1/2 times 1/2 equals 1/4, or 0.5 times 0.5 equals 2.25. In this case, 1/2 of means multiplication. To find 1/2 divided by 1/2, multiply 1/2 by the reciprocal of 1/2, which is 2. That answer is 1. To multiply two fractions, the first numerator is multiplied by the other numerator, and the first denominator is multiplied by the other denominator. For example, 2/4 times 3/4 equals 6/16. One can simplify this by dividing both numbers by a common factor. This would be 3/8 after the simplification. Sometimes the best way to learn about fractions is through a picture. See the picture here to see how the whole of a circle can be broken up into different fractions. The first picture shows the whole, and then the other picture shows fractions of that whole. A reciprocal is a fraction where the numerator and denominator are reversed. It can also be looked at as a 1 over the number. When you take a number or fraction and multiply it by its reciprocal, the answer is always 1. Sometimes fractions may look different and have different numbers, but they are equivalent or have the same value. One of the simplest examples of equivalent fractions is the number 1. If the numerator and the denominator are the same, then the fraction has the same equivalent value as 1. Here are some equivalent fractions for 3/4. Equivalent fractions are all multiples of 3/4. Take 15/20 for example. 3 times 5 equals 15, and 4 times 5 equals 20. When decimal points are used in numbers, the number to the right of the decimal point is a type of fraction. Depending on the place value, it can be 1/10, 1/100, 1/1000, or some other factor of 10. Another type of fraction is the percent. The percent is a fraction with a denominator of 100. When you say 50%, it is the same thing as saying 50/100. Now you try 5 fraction problems. Pause the episode to solve the fraction problems. Once you've solved the problems, replay the episode and see the answers. Had any luck, viewers? Well, here are the answers. Addition of 2/5 and 3/8 is equal to 31/40. Adding 2 slash 7 and 5 slash 9, we get 53 slash 63. 1 plus 9 slash 4 equals 13 slash 4. Subtraction of 3 slash 12 and 1 slash 9 is equal to 5 slash 36. Lastly, what is the value of 3 slash 10 minus 2 slash 10? The answer is 1 slash 10. Thank you for watching this episode of Adventurous Kids.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous Kids!
Adventurous